Hi, travelers. Tara here. I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. All you dads out there, happy belated Father's Day to you. Um, let's see. I got my website back up and running. Yay! But now I'm having trouble getting my booking forms to show up. So I've got to get with the who do you call it? The host company to see if they can help me fix that issue. I put up some articles. I've got some more stuff scheduled, so I hope those of you who have subscribed to the website have been enjoying those particular articles. I'm gonna bring up some. I'm gonna start offering astrology reports, and how that's going to work is I'm going to be looking at the transits. What we want to know. I mean, it's great to know from the natal perspective what is going on with us. Explaining ourselves and how we may behave in certain areas or challenges that we may have. But what we really want to know is what is happening for us in our everyday life. So give me another week or so. I'm going to have that. I've got to put that together and post up. So that'll be a new product for you. I will also offer natal reports for those of you who are interested in having one. I'll offer that as well. If you're interested in doing synastry, you will need the correct birth time of the other individual. Composite charts are okay, but they really only work if you are actually living with the person. You know. So just give me a moment on that. I'm still working on those tarot classes. Oh my God. So anyway, we're going to come today. This is an open reading, and we're going to be using the Casanovas. I have not read with Casanova in a while, and these messages will be general. They will not apply with everyone, and in order to gain any insight into your situation requires a personal reading. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, all you have to do is simply click on the little whatever that is that comes up in the right hand corner. That'll take you directly over to the website. I have several different tarot readings. I offer, I think, 3 or 4 different by phone. And if you want a phone reading, when you get to the site, go to tarot readings, hover your mouse over that portion. A secondary menu will pop out. And at the very top, it says important information on booking. So if this is about a phone reading, please make sure that you read that before you submit any payment and you book, okay? If you want a private video reading, there's a tab for that. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours after I've received the booking form and the payment. For those of you somebody paid me with an e-check the other day. That takes 3 days. So you don't get any access to the website until that clears. I know a lot of you are kind of moaning that I'm not using anything but PayPal. But right now, that is the best. It not only protects you as a purchaser, but it also protects me as a seller. And so that's why I use that one. I've been a member with them since 2010. I've been with them for a long, long time. Oh, no, 2009. So anyway, Akashic Records reading and etheric cord clearing. Even though I just told you that my booking forms aren't coming through, on the back end in the admin section of the website, I can still see those. So, don't let that deter you. I will receive that information. I'm going to be posting up some more videos. I've got nothing in the metaphysical gallery, and I will be working on that this week, as well as starting on the individual monthlies for June. We've got a lot of transits coming across the house, the sign of Cancer. Those of you who are subscribed to the website, I just posted up a transit watch, but I've got another article coming up for you on the Cancer stellium. Something that happened yesterday that I was reading, and I really don't kind of care in one way or the other, but I was looking at the fact that Beyonce had twins a few days ago. And what is so interesting about that is that they were born under the sign of Gemini, which is the sign of twins. So I thought that was really kind of interesting. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started with this reading. I did some pre-shuffling, and I have the death card has come out, but it came out reversed. Let me let you take a look at what that looks like, okay? Now, for those of you who are like, oh my God, that woman's naked, you know, get off the channel. But it came out reversed, okay? So this is, whenever the death card comes up, it talks about some kind of change or transformation. But because it is reversed, it kind of tells me that it hasn't happened yet. It's stalled or delayed for some reason. We shall see. I know that Neptune went retrograde on the 16th, and that could have something to do with it. Let's put the rest of the cards down. I have a Queen of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Four of Cups, the Hermit, the Six of Swords. Now, interesting. Here is the Justice card. Wow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana already. 5 major arcana. Here is the Chariot. And then I have the Three of Wands. Wow. I think the reason for the holdup here is this, is the Hermit. Yes, because underneath the Hermit is the Chariot. Okay, let's see what's under the back. Oh, well, look at that. It is the Temperance card. Can you see her? It's the Temperance card. She's sitting in a garden, a closed courtyard. For those of you, welcome new subscribers. Really, you guys are awesome. Thank you, old subscribers, for sticking with me. For those of you who don't know much about the tarot, it is divided into 2 groups. We have what are known as the major arcana cards. These are our spiritual lessons, our spiritual growth, our life lessons that we're here to learn to help us move to a different level, spiritual level, which is in turn supposed to make us better people. And then we have the pip cards, and the pip cards are our numbered cards. I have the Four of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Three of Wands here, but it also includes our court cards, which are our pages, knights, pages, kings, and queens, okay? Now, I'm looking at this Queen of Pentacles, and if I want to, just for the sake of what she's supposed to represent, it would be an earth sign female. She would either be a Virgo, a Cancer, a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. But if not that, then this is about somebody who may, in terms of a profession, maybe somebody who handles money, sales, negotiations, a bank teller, an accountant, someone who's good with money. It could even be someone who works in some type of philanthropic, you know, where you're getting donations coming in. But what she means in this deck, it's about somebody who really doesn't have a very, very difficult time in getting what they want. Now, whether that be by hook or crook, and what I mean by that is someone using the negative side of their personality to get what they want. Are they manipulative, or are they really just somebody who is able to get what they want and may not even be aware of that particular type of power that they have? In the center, I have this Hermit card, and the Hermit is not only a scholar, but he's a student and a scholar. The Hermit is somebody who spends a lot of time studying, looking over things, trying to get to the truth of something. But then his role as a scholar is to come out, a teacher is to come out and share the information that he's found. It is someone who will closet or secret himself away, perhaps from society, because he really has to get to the truth of a situation, okay? And it can speak to a time of isolation and loneliness. And it really, I think it's some kind of transformation that's trying to occur, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana in the spread itself, and then it ends. The overall energy speaks to it's a major arcana. Now, the Temperance card is a card about balance. It is a card about patience. It is a card of waiting. It is a card of recombination, separating the wheat from the chaff, the dross from the gold. It is also a time of reconciliation, of trying to find the balance within. And Sagittarius deals with foreigners, publishing, education, academia, the truth. It represents the truth as it relates to the masses of the people, whereas this kind of represents a personal truth in some sense, but it also has something to do with getting that message out and across, okay? I feel that for whomever this queen, and this will apply whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, that someone knows that there's a change that's coming, and they are really, but there's something that's holding it up. And the reason why I say there's something holding it up is because I have this Four of Cups here. And the Four of Cups is really a card about perhaps not being too thrilled or too excited about your choices or your options that you have. Perhaps not even being certain about whether or not that option that you have is the best for you. But at the same time, the warning with this card is that, you know, don't dismiss something out of hand because you don't quite understand it or you don't quite know how it fits in. Because it is a Cups card, it represents some type of emotional component. That's what the cups are. The coins represent not only finances, but they also represent the physical plane. The swords represent thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, and ideas. Now, what's kind of perplexing to me is this diagonal that I have of the Death card over to the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is, this card speaks to travel in the mind. We see here that the Hermit is here. So this is really, I think, someone trying to get a handle on, there's an imbalance between the way that they feel and the way that they think. And they have, in effect, kind of withdrawn themselves from a situation, isolated themselves. But here with the Six of Swords, there's a lot of mental action going on. I don't know if this is dealing with perhaps someone thinking about a trip, wanting to take a trip, but not certain if maybe that's what they should do. Fours represent some type of stability. They represent stability, they represent logic, they represent structure, but they also represent, fours represent a stable situation, like a stalemate or a static situation. This can be good in one sense, because if you don't need something to change or to move, okay, then having that static quality to it is great. However, if you need something to move and it's not, this can be a very, very frustrating time. Here is the Justice card. And in one respect, the Death card with the Four of Cups with the Justice, it's kind of like saying that even if nothing is moving that you're not aware of, that in a way it's kind of protected. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed because Justice says it's not time yet. There's something else that needs to be worked out. Something that is most definitely going on behind the scenes with all of these major arcana cards. I can see that this Queen, however, is, I think, giving great weight and great thought to the fact that it is time to move. It is time to move. even though there may be something else going on behind the scenes, she wants more. She what is it trying to tell me? Um, Even though she feels perhaps isolated, or she feels alone, or maybe she feels she's spent enough time in this energy of this Hermit card, I think she's trying to figure out what is the best direction for her to go in. Now, this card represents Cancer. And as I was just telling you at the beginning of the thing, we've got a lot of transits coming through the sign of Cancer. And if you have 3 or more factors in your chart, do know that you know some things will be touched in your chart. Cancer rules your heritage. It can rule your genetics, the 4th house. It rules your home, your family, how you nurture other people, how you need to be nurtured, what do you need to feel safe and secure, okay? And maybe this is what the issue is for this particular queen. She has or is in the place of trying to determine really what it is that she needs, okay? And I also feel in one respect she's trying to make the determination that no matter what the issue is, and we're going to be pulling Sabilas on this, it's things can't stay the way they are forever. They're not supposed to. This Hermit in the center kind of says there's a freeze on the action here. Now, that's the Strength card. And this card speaks to a lot of passion. To me, the story behind this card is that this woman that he's seducing was an opera singer. And during that time, women weren't allowed to be on the stage. Those roles were always played by men. And he discovered that it was actually a woman and fell madly in love with her. He almost married her. So this is, in one respect, it's a kind of a push-pull kind of an energy. He really, really wants to. She's really, really willing. But for some reason, here's the Strength. And the Strength says that there's some type of resistance, particularly here with the upside down Death card. It is this card, the Travel of the Mind, the 6 of Swords here. I'm not picking up that it's a fantasy kind of a thing, because this card speaks to it's like after the fact, and there's conversation, there's talk, okay? But as you can see, you know, everybody's kind of relaxed in wherever they are, and there's no action happening here in this card. I'm getting that here with the Justice card, leading into the Chariot, that someone is about to make a move. They're going to, the Chariot card is not a fast move, it is a slow move. But the story behind this card is that Casanova was visiting someone's, I don't know, castle, whatever the case, their home, where there was to be a marriage, another couple getting married. And I guess the female didn't wish to get married, so she asked Casanova, "Can I, you know, I don't want to get married. You're leaving. Can I leave with you?" And so the rumor that spread throughout the whole land was that they had eloped together, but that is not the truth. She simply was availing herself of the quickest route out of a situation that she chose. She did not wish to be in. What I'm picking up from that is that whatever situation you find yourself stuck in and you feel you cannot get out of it, only you can make the determination of how best to leave that situation, or to escape that situation, or to move away in some sense. And you're supposed to be moving because there is the 3 of Wands here. Now, the Three of Wands and the traditional cards are the start of something. Okay? It's the start of something. It is about two things coming together to make a third thing. Two things that separately, apart from each other, cannot create as much as they would if they would come together. Okay? I feel that someone has been resisting this. They've been resisting it. I don't know. Maybe they're having, it's some kind of resistance to the way that they think. It is really like someone trying to stave off a change. Well, we know that we can't stave off a change. We can try. And when we do that, things tend to go horribly, horribly wrong sometimes because we're not working in our best interest. But we can try. We can try. Let's go to the Sabilas. Because in one respect, I'm kind of picking up that this hermit is also a male. In the sense that whatever this is, Casanova is always a love reading or relationship reading. And this is someone who is really not wanting something to change. And that is why it's being held up. None of us can stave off death. I mean, it's inevitable. The question is, do you want to go with your boots on or do you want to go with your boots off? How do you want to go out? And if this is a situation where you've been waiting for someone to change their mind, perhaps you are starting to come to the realization that it could be, you know, a long, long time. So then again, the question becomes, do you want to sit around with your boots on or do you want to sit around with your boots off? Well, sitting around with your boots off implies that you're willing to wait. Sitting around with your boots on, you can get up and walk away. Okay? I want to take a look at this death reversed. It's almost as if he's floating on the ceiling. Look, let me show you. See, there's the man in the bed. He's ill, and here comes death, and she's beautiful. Okay, now, and let's say in a realistic sense, we don't ever want to see this come to us, but then death can be beautiful in some sense, because if it's somebody who's been sick and ill for a long, long time, whether this is spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, death can be a blessing. But why? Because it releases that person from whatever it is that they're dealing with. And so the beautiful kiss, death is known as the beautiful kiss. But what is death but not a transformation of a situation? We leave this particular energy or place, and then we move into something different. But someone is really trying to ignore that some kind of change needs to. It's like they're trying to, if I move away from it, then if I don't participate in it, I can move away from it. But to me, this card is saying that the person, you know, wherever you go, there you are. You cannot outrun your own thoughts. And so if that is the demon that is plaguing you, eventually you have to deal with whatever it is that you're thinking about. If not, okay, this energy tends to hang around. And ultimately, it's going to end up in either you missing out on something really, really wonderful, or the message that I'm getting is it's like having the fire without the flame. That's an old Tina Marie from Square Biz. It's like having the fire without the flame. And someone is having trouble with the flame. That's what it's saying to me. These are big energies. This is Pluto. This is the Sun. This is Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. This is Libra, which is rules both Taurus and which is ruled by Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus. So in one respect, we can say this is a Venus card. This is some kind of balance trying to come into play. Here is the Cancer card, which is the higher octave, is the Hanged Man and the Moon. So now the Hermit now makes sense. It's coming out in a different way. I would have expected to see the Hanged Man here, but it's telling me the same thing, that there's some kind of Neptunian thing going on here. That's why he's in the center. Maybe this is telling me that the isolation is about to come to an end here. We see this movement here. So let's take a look at what this holdup is. This is really, I think, someone trying to deny either what they know or what they feel or what they're trying to skip a lesson. That's what they're trying to do. Because in this deck, the what do you call it? The Hermit also speaks to a welcome, an invitation, being invited in to discuss ideas, to see what the truth is. He is an earth energy, so this is something based upon the physical plane. It is not that energy of the Hanged Man, which is more of a spiritual, mental thing. This is a different dimension that we're dealing with here. Let's look at the Death card reversed. Staying attached to something is kind of what I'm getting. La Vecchia Signora is the first card down. She is would be like an older female relative or someone who gives advice through experience, but it's definitely an older woman. This could be someone's mom or their aunt or the Vedovo. The Vedovo, the man tied to his past. It's another representation of some sort, like the Death card. Okay. And the conversation, the pleasant conversation. So what I'm getting is that two things, that someone is having a very, very difficult time letting go of perhaps some good advice that they were given. This is someone who's in mourning, or someone who is doesn't want to let something go. That's exactly what I said before. That's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know if there has been perhaps a death, a literal death in someone's family, or someone who is perhaps hanging on longer than perhaps they should. In the tarot, we don't ever really interpret the Death card as an actual death, but as we know, it does happen. Let's see. I want to see with the Six of Swords, because it's kind of... This person, I think, has a grip on this situation, whomever this Queen of Pentacles is. And like I said, if she's not a earth sign, then it is someone who perhaps wields a lot of power on the physical plane, who could be very, very stubborn and staunch. It's backed up by the Strength card. Look, there's a Dottore. So maybe there's some kind of illness that is occurring. Here is the L'amante, the female lover. And then here is the Malinconia. They have their backs to each other. So in one respect, I'm getting that whatever the person is tending to, this person is not included. But look at the Malinconia. The Malinconia says that there's some real sadness here in this particular situation. So now what I'm picking up is that it is a separation of two people. Here is the Six of Swords. So this is really about having to move away, really to leave behind whatever this is, and giving it great weight and great thought. And it's very difficult. The Malinconia says so. It is a hard thing to forget. Let me look at this Hermit in the center, because everything else is going on around him. And what's interesting is that there's only two cards of movement here. And that's the Chariot and the Six of Swords. But the Six of Swords may not be a literal movement. It could simply be a mental movement here. The Chariot is an actual, you know, I'm going to have to go. The Justice card is the Karma card. I have to, it's time now. I have to go. I am, let me see something. I want to look at something. I don't know. There. Let me look at something. Because I want to make sure that I'm telling you this correctly. Well, that's interesting. This card also speaks to a decision. The initiative. Well, I'm picking up two messages now, because this card also speaks to curiosity. The Six of Swords here. It's like a cross purposes kind of a thing. In which case, what this is telling me is that from the male perspective, they're not making a move, but they're very curious and they want to, and they're trying to come to a decision about something. From this standpoint, this tells me that I think someone has waited as long as they can, and they are now coming to the realization that they themselves have to. This is two people trying to make a decision, but they're making a decision independent of each other. Again, it's kind of a cross purposes kind of a thing. This is the separation that's coming through with the Hermit card. Let's see what the Hermit is trying to tell us. The viaggio, the travel, the trip, the visit, the vacation. Costanza, immutability. Remember I said it's like they can't forget the connection. It's there. The Costanza says that it is immutable. The discovery, the man of science, the man of letters. It's almost sort of like another hermit card. You see, he's sitting in his library with his books. Well, here he is outside the monastery. Okay, so there is a real connection here. I don't think that either person is able to forget that connection, but there are literally no cards of communication here. We see one in the past. That's it. Let's see what the which now makes me, there's a decision that's coming up. Let's see what the Chariot card is going to say. This says that there has to be a decision. Justice comes in to say, look, something has to change. I have this fire, okay, and that's what I want. How funny. I don't even know what to make of these three cards. It's almost like it's telling the same story of that I told you, how she ran away from something. The casa, the house. Houses speak to, this is a risk, a very low-level risk. When you purchase a home or buy a home, there is equity in it. You can borrow against it. You can do all kinds of things with it. So it is a low-level risk, but it also speaks to safety and security. Falling on the card of Cancer, okay? But then I have the falsità, which is the lies or the deception, and the hidden things. With the Belvedere, great planning and foresight. Let me look at something. This is quite for some reason I can't even find this card in here, and I know it's here. Hold on. That's the positive. Huh. Well, isn't that something? Ah, here it is. The word I was looking for. Hypocrisy. I think someone has said, you know what? I don't want to, I can't see being in a relationship with you. I can't see how this is going to work out. But there's hypocrisy there. This also speaks to hidden intentions. I think someone is, two things. Someone is not sure if, because they don't think it will work, the hidden intentions, they are suspicious of it. So they move away from it. They escape it. But at the same time, the truth of the matter is somebody knows that they're lying about that. So what do I have to do? If you're not going to be honest with me and tell me the truth, then I have no choice but to look elsewhere. Now, what it says, great foresight and planning. And I think this is someone who, as I said before, when I first started, if this is related to this particular queen, she has been giving this great thought. And now I think she has formulated her plan. I think she will be moving. Now, I'm picking up as well that there might be really some type of home move trying to occur, a change of address of some sort. But then it could simply be what your idea of home is. Yes? And maybe this is a lesson in, a spiritual lesson in really coming face to face with what it is that you want, you need, and you desire. And that may alter, you know. I think there's something. I'm going to look at this Three of Wands here. The domestico, or the man returning. But then the domestico can be a collaborator. This can also be somebody who is rather shady. He's kind of a sleazy character. The stanza. Communications, but there's nobody there. On this Three of Wands. There is the La Namica. Now, this is very interesting because this can either tell me two things. That either this person is going to eventually make a decision and choose someone else, okay? Or that this person may be on their way out. Two things. It's telling me a third thing, that this La Namica could actually be you if this situation fits you. Why do I say that? Here is the hypocrisy, or the hidden intentions. The person is not sure if you are really friend or foe. It's interesting because these are two, because this card stands for the mother, or the grandmother, or the aunt, or the old confidant. And maybe that you remind that person of someone. Wow. Look, this could go either way. Honestly, it looks like it's a very, very complicated situation. Because those last three cards kind of say that even if there is somebody else, they're not talking to each other. There's the stanza card in between the two of them. Okay? And so the overall energy of this Temperance, the keywords are moderation, calm, care, patience, serenity, peace, virtue, understanding, and listening. Something that I thought about when I saw the cards of the Doctore, the L'amante female, and the Malinconia on that Six of Swords. It's almost like the cards are saying in one respect that help has already been offered, but it has been turned down. Why? Because the Doctore is somebody who can help solve a problem. Okay? The help has been turned down. Well, if, you know, when People offer you help or assistance in whatever way, shape, or form. When you turn it down, you could literally be turning down some kind of blessing in disguise. But I think that both of these people in this situation are coming to some type of realization. How that will be, I don't know. Let's please formulate one question in your mind. It's a strange reading. Formulate a question in your mind that was not addressed by this spread. Perhaps the angel answer card will give you a some comfort, some solace. You know, I don't know what to tell you about that spread. I wish it was a bit clearer for those of you who were seeking an answer, but it is not. Meditation brings answers. Well, that goes right back to that Hermit card in the center there, does it not? Let's pull one Heart Oracle Tarot. Well, again, it's like that Hermit energy. That's the Five of Pentacles. Remember, I was saying that help was offered, and in the traditional sense, this card is about somebody who's so wrapped up in what they don't have that they don't see kind of like what's right in front of them. Okay? Meditation brings answers. Trying to come up with an intellectual answer to your concerns hasn't been successful. That's because the solutions you seek can only be found by going within through meditation or inner spiritual work. You may also gather insights from your nighttime dreams as your subconscious creates solutions for you that are not available to your waking mind. Remember, I said there's stuff going on behind the scenes. And when I say behind the scenes, I don't mean like behind the scenes. I mean literally behind the scenes on a different dimension. There's something else that's trying to occur here. What that is, it's definitely some kind of change that's being held up. The Feeling Alone card, lack, abandoned, insecurity, and support. True love and emotional support may seem lacking at this time. This card suggests a period of feeling lonely or abandoned. You may think that no one understands you or your needs or even cares about you. Perhaps someone you turn to for support has deserted you, or a hope for love has rejected you. Your insecurities may rise to the surface to overwhelm you at this time. All that you desire may seem unattainable. Don't let your confidence be shaken. There are lessons in everything, and know that this difficult period is only temporary. Your spirit guides and the divine support you. Talk with them about how you're feeling and what you need right now. Also, seek the support of those friends and family who are there for you. Help is at hand. You just don't see it. Be careful, because depression feeds upon itself. Lift yourself out of it by doing something physical. Take a walk, exercise, sing, or even volunteer your time. You will feel better, and in doing so, will attract happiness into your life. Okay, well, look, that's it. I hope those messages helped some of you. Again, if you're interested in a reading, because I don't know what that was all about, you can click on that and that'll take you directly over to the website. Until next time, namaste.